one and all present here. Myself N. Kalpana. I am from Sri GK Jain Higher Secondary School, Roypur. Today for the 12th standard I am going to explain the topic as transition and the inner transition element. So transition element is a D block elements, okay, and inner transition elements is the F block element which is present inside the D block element. That is why it will be called it as a inner transition elements. In last videos we saw about the position of the transition elements. The position of the transition element is it has been present in between the S block elements as well as the P block elements. It is higher, the value is the size is higher than the S block element and it is probably lower than the P block elements. It has been present in between them. And next one we saw about the oxidation state. Obviously the transition elements have been a variable oxidation state. For each single element it should be processed so many variable oxidation state. And next one position, oxidation state, and next one is the magnetic property. So in the magnetic property, with the help of the formula we can find the D series. First D series, second D series, what is the value which has been used by getting the formula where mu equal to n into n plus 2 and some more observed values is also be there. More or less the formula related values as well as the observed value nearly it should be same. Whenever you are getting the D1 series, the value should also be become 1. 2 means 2. So same will be there. Now today we are going to see about the catalytic properties and the alloy formations. First one, what is a catalytic property? What does mean by catalyst? So catalyst is the definition for the catalyst is it is increase the rate of the reaction. Okay. So the catalyst, when you are adding the catalyst as a substance, it does not involve in the reaction but it is helpful for the rate of the reaction. How it does not be involved? Whenever if you enter into the reactant, before what is the mass of the reactant, the same after when the product has been formed, it should be the same one. That means there it does not be involved in the reaction, only it increase the rate of the reaction. That is called as a catalyst. So the transition state will be possess the catalytic property under this condition. Because why it should possess the catalytic property is D blocks elements having the configuration is n-1d vacant orbitals are there. So for the vacant orbital it will be easy to observe the some other atoms, some other elements. So it is easily form the catalytic formation. And next one, it should be possess the variable oxidation state. I already explained the oxidation state of the D blocks element. So obviously the D block element, that means the transition elements, they possess the some other variable oxidation state. For the same element also it has been possessed the +3, +2, +1 oxidation states. For that reason also it will be act as a catalytic formations. And next one, complex. Yes, obviously the D block element will be easily form the complex between them. And next one it will be act as a active site. Active site means it will be having a larger surface and the active site will be there. For example, when I am just giving the example, hydrogenation of alkene. So alkenes obviously double bond CH, double bond CH. So here nickel and H2. Here nickel will be act as a catalyst. Nickel possesses the large surface, so it should be act as a active center. Here we having the pi bond electrons as well as the sigma bond electrons. So first the pi bond electron, it has been placed on the nickel as well as the sigma bond electron placed as a nickel. So before it is entered into the product, for example, when the reactant it is formed the product, it is the reaction, okay. But when the reactant it has been reacted with the catalyst, it should be formed as an intermediate complex. It should be formed as a intermediate. So intermediate complex means in between the formation of product, it will be formed as an intermediate. How it should be formed? Based on the reaction between the reactants as well as the catalyst. But it should be unstable. Because why it should be unstable means it is ready to form the product. After some times it is ready to form the products. That is why the intermediate complex will be formed. So obviously automatically what happened here, the H2 will be there, CH3 bond CH3 will be formed. So first thing, if the reactant will be formed as a product, it has been transfers a lot of it in the large barriers, it has been changed. But when you are adding the catalyst, it will be easily, it should be form the product. So without catalyst, it is the process, it has been gaining a large surface area, so a lot of energy it needed to form the product. But when you added a catalyst, it is easily form the product. That is the catalytic property. So for this condition, which is all been present in the D block element, that is why the D block element will be having the catalytic properties. And next one, which is the alloy formation. Usually what is mean by alloy? So the combination of more than one metals, it will be formed as a alloy. That will be called it as a alloy formation. So here it is a transition metals. So obviously the metal will be react with one another. It should form the alloys. Okay. But here we having some conditions will be there. All the metals cannot be joined like that to form an alloy. It has certain condition. It is set by the Hume-Rothery. Okay. The first condition is size. So the more or less the size of the metal should be nearly the same. And next one, the percentage difference should be less than 15%. Then how should find the difference in the percentage? First you have to find the radius of solute minus radius of solvent by radius of solvent. You know how should we find the solute as well as the solvent? Usually in the solution, solute plus solvent will form as a solution, isn't it? The same, solute means will be finding in the lesser in a number. Solvent will be found in the greater number. Solute, the solvent will be able to dissolve the solute for making the solution. Here is also, whenever you have finding the lower in the mass number or anything else, lower in the sizes will be considered as a solute and the higher will be considered as a solvent. But usually in the alloy, whenever it is formed as a solute and the solvent, but it should be obviously formed the homogeneous content. Homogeneous means it has been evenly mixed together. It is not ununiformly. That means it should be uniformly. It does not be heterogeneous. It is a homogeneous. Homogeneous means uniformly it has been mixed together. For those uniform distribution, uniform mixture, we need these. It has been under these conditions and all. First one, size. It should be nearly more or less same in the size. And second one, valency, almost if sizes also be same, almost the valency should also be same. And next one, crystal structure. Let you see in the crystal structure, just imagine it is a compound. Here it is having the elements. I'm having only one element because it should be having the same size. If I am removing one element or I am adding another element, it should be fixed over it. Whenever if it is having the same crystal structure, then only it should form the homogeneous one. And next one, electronegativity. Then electronegativity which is nearer to 0, more or less it should be less value or it should be nearer to 0, then only it should form the homogeneous alloy. That means the alloy formations. So in this video we saw about the catalytic properties, conditions for the catalytic properties of D block elements, that is the transition state. And next one is what is mean by the alloy formation, with the what are all the condition which is necessary for the alloy formation. It is a very important question which is under the questions of Hume-Rothery questions. And next one here I am giving the examples also. Examples also very important one. The 1 mark questions itself, they may be asking the conditions. In which condition it is responsible for the catalytic property or alloy formation. So these are all the questions we have expected from these topics. Thank you.